Hello guys, and welcome back for another video review. Now today I'm going to be reviewing the Seiko Solar Quartz Chronograph. It is a part of the Prospects line of Seiko, and that is something different on the newer models. We do have the X on the dial, if you can see it there. Now this watch, it's about $220 on the stainless steel bracelet. Now, going to dimensions, we do have a 43 millimeter diameter. We have a 14 millimeter thickness. And we do have a 50 millimeter lug to lug. Now, the crystal on this watch is a hard Lex crystal, and it's completely flat. And that is Seiko's own proprietary crystal there. I believe they do make them themselves. Now, this watch is a diving chronograph, and it is water resistant to 200 meters, which is a pretty good rating there. It is an ISO certified diver. And there are many models of this exact watch. This is the kind of like the Pepsi, like as the SKX009. Which I reviewed on the channel also. If you want to check that out, that would be cool. Now we do have drilled holes on the side, which is, in my opinion, pretty nice. The sides of the watch are completely polished, and the top is brushed. And they did a very nice job. It's a pretty high quality watch for the price that you're paying. Alright, now the case is completely stainless steel, of course, and so is the bracelet. Now, we do not have solid end links on this bracelet, though, and that is one of the downsides of a cheaper watch, in my opinion. We do not have screws either on the bracelet. So those are two downsides, and probably the only downsides of this watch, besides the small date. If you can even see it, it is there. Now on to the main functions of this watch. This is a chronograph, and it has a 60-minute countdown, and you can't really do any more than 60 minutes. At the 3 o'clock, we have a 24-hour time, and at the 6 o'clock, we have the 60 minutes for the chronograph, and at the 9 o'clock, we have the seconds, which ticks. On the bezel itself, it's a 160 click unidirectional bezel with an aluminum insert, and the pip on the top does have lume. I'm going to go ahead and show you the action of this bezel. It's pretty smooth, not much play at all, and it lines up. I missed it, but it does line up perfectly. Come on. Here we go. There you go. And it lines up perfectly, which is nice to know. Because I know there have been some problems on the turtles with, the bezel not aligning properly to the 12 o'clock. But not on this watch. Now the chronograph does have screw-down pushers, which is a nice touch, but you still can't activate it underwater. The crown is screwed down, and it does have a little red ring around it, if you see, which is a nice little touch also. No branding on the crown, just plain. Now the dial on this watch is very cool because it's kind of layered. Now this is a solar powered watch, so it does charge by the sunlight or by indoor lighting, or you can even probably charge it with a flashlight. And the solar panel actually takes in the energy from the front under this. See, there's the first layer with the pips. Now the layer beneath it is that's the layer that takes the energy in. So it's kind of like three-dimensional there, if you can see. And then all the way beneath that, we do have the date. Which, it's legible, in my opinion, if you really look, but it's not like a quick, you can glance and, read the correct date. It's you kind of gotta really look, which is, kind of weird. It kind of seems squished in there. Now, the lume on this watch is amazing. Like most of Seiko's watches, this one uses Lume Bright. Now, that is Seiko's own lume, and it's very strong. I'm going to show you a lume shot at the end of this video, as well as a complete wrist shot. So don't tune out yet. Now, this watch, it was purchased on Amazon, and you can find these for about $208 plus tax and shipping. Comes to about $230, depending on your tax, what state you're in, etc. Now, we do also have a dive extension on the bracelet, which I'm going to show you. It's really not that amazing, but it does help. We do have Seiko branding on here. You flip it up, it's 2 buttons and it opens. Alright, so this is the diver's extension, and I have just released it. And it's a little extension. I mean, it can be worn over a wetsuit. I guess there's a purpose for it. And it just snaps back in there, and this clings onto that, and you snap it back in. Now, getting to the chronograph. I already unscrewed the pushers, and I'm going to show you how the chronograph works. Basically, you start it with the top, and it's a nice smooth sweep. And there is a hint of red on that seconds hand, the chronograph hand, going around. And it does match the hint of red on the 60-minute. Now I'm going to stop it and reset it with the bottom. Then you screw that back down, and you're good to go. Now, a few last things I want to tell you about the watch. Basically, this watch uses a V175 solar-powered eco-drive kind of movement, and it has 6 months of full charge. So basically, you never need to really worry about it running out. And when it does actually run out, this little seconds going around here will start skipping one and beating every 2 seconds. So that's when you know that you really are low on the energy there. Which is nice, and that's pretty cool. But as long as you're indoors with good lighting, you should always be charged. And the accuracy of this quartz movement is about plus or minus 15 seconds in 1 month. So the accuracy is definitely spot on. You can't go wrong with this watch. Now, to complete this, I'm going to do something different this time, and I'm going to tell you the positives and the negatives with this watch. Basically, on the positive side, it's a really bold look, with that 20mm non-tapering bracelet on a larger 43mm case. It gives a pretty nice look on your wrist. And it's a great design, and it's very unique in its own design. For the price, it's great value. It's only a little more than the SKX, and you're really getting a lot of features and functions on this watch. You can time 2 things at the same time with the diving bezel and the chronograph, which is really cool. And the build quality is definitely really good. It's a little bump up from the SKX, in my opinion, the quality. And it is a newer watch, so that could be one of the main reasons. And the colors are really nice, for summer or casual wear. This blue with the red and the dial. It's really nice. Now the negatives would have to be the bracelet. It is pretty comfortable, but there is no solid end links. We do have pins instead of screws, which is not my favorite. It's a good deal for an entry-level chronograph, but the chronograph cannot be used underwater, so the diving chronograph theme kind of goes away there. in my opinion. Also, the 24-hour subdial here cannot be used to hold a second time zone, unlike the Seiko Flightmaster, which can be used to hold a second time zone on this dial here. The date is rather small and kind of sunken in too much. That would be another gripe of mine, but that's pretty much it. It's a great all-around watch, and I really like it. I would definitely recommend buying this watch. It's quite well built, and it's very unique in its own design here. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm going to throw up a Lume shot right after I finish speaking, and also a full wrist shot. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave it below, and I'll definitely be happy to answer your questions. If you like videos like this one or my other videos, definitely subscribe to the channel and check out my other videos. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.